learn to play the guitar. Is there anything wrong with that?
No. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nobody trying to stop you. I just wonder why you gotta flip from one thing to another all the time. You ain't never done nothing that kind of quick before home.
I don't flip. I experiment with different forms of expression.
And what is it you trying to express?
Me.
Lord, child.
I'm going to expect you to understand.
Well, anyway, who are you going out with tomorrow?
George Murchison again.
Oh, you a little sweet on George.
Oh, I like George all right, Mama. I mean, I like him enough to go out with him and stuff. But I can never be serious about George. He's so shallow.
Shallow? What you mean shallow? He's rich.
And I know he's rich. He knows he's rich too. No one begins to understand. Like Rudy, for example. Anybody who married Walter couldn't possibly understand either.
Now, take any kind of way to talk about your brother.
Brother is a flip, let's face it.
A flip? What you trying to say? He crazy?
No, brother really isn't crazy yet. He's an elaborate neurotic.
Now you need to hush talking about him now.
As for George, well, George looks good. He's got a nice car. He takes me to beautiful places. And as my sister-in-law said, he is probably the richest boy I will ever get to know. And I even like him sometimes. But if the youngers are sitting around waiting to see if their little Benny is going to type the family with the Murchisons, they are wasting their time.
So you trying to tell me if George Murchison asked you to marry him, you wouldn't do it?
No, I wouldn't marry George if I felt from what I feel now. Besides, George's family wouldn't like it.
And why not?
Oh, Mama. The Murchisons are honest to God, real live, rich colored people. And the only people in the world more snob is the rich white people or rich colored people. I thought everybody knew that.
Now you ought not dislike folk because they're well off, honey.
Why? It makes just as much sense as disliking people because they are poor, and lots of people do that.
Well, you'll get over it one day.
Get over it? What are you talking about, get over it? I'm going to be a doctor. I'm not worried about who I'm going to marry yet, if I ever get married.
Now then, if.
Oh, I probably will, but first I'm going to be a doctor, and George for one still think that's pretty funny. I couldn't be bothered with that. I'm going to be a doctor, and everybody around here better understand that.
Oh, she's going to be a doctor, honey. God will.
God has nothing to do with it. But I mean,
It just wasn't called for.
well, neither is God.
Beneath us.
I mean it. I get sick of hearing about God all the time. What does he have to do with anything? Does he pay tuition?
Now you about to get your little friend job sack.
Why? Why can't I say what I want to around here like everybody else?
It just don't sound nice for a young girl to say things like that. Me and your father went to a lot of trouble making sure you and your brother went to church every Sunday.
Oh, Mama, it's all a matter of ideas, and God is just one idea I don't accept. It's not important. It's not like I'm going out and being immoral or committing crimes because I don't believe in God. I don't even think about it. It's just that I get tired of him getting all the credit for what the human race achieves through his own stubborn effort. There simply is no plastic God. There is only man, and it is he who creates miracles.
Now you say after